A celebration more than 100 years in the making made big news across the Texas Tech system last week. Coming up, we have a special look at the ribbon cutting for Texas Tech School of Veterinary Medicine.
Texas Tech's Spirit program has become one of the premier programs in the country. But one group of talented students recently had a chance to compete on the next level. Find out the final results from last week's International Cheer Union World Championships.
And Tech baseball and softball both headed back to the Diamond over the weekend with hopes of improving their record in the Big 12. But could either team sweep the competition? MCTV's Alejandra Salazar has a look back at this past weekend's action and a preview of what's next for both teams in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Parker Gainey.
And I'm Austin Garrison. Last week, the Texas Tech University system celebrated the official ribbon cutting of the School of Veterinary Medicine.
Tech's vet school is only the second of its kind in Texas and the first one to be opened in the state in more than 100 years. MCTV headed to the Amarillo campus to capture the sights and sounds of this once-in-a-century occasion.
An achievement of this magnitude requires a lot more than wishful thinking. It requires resolve. It requires a dogged determination. It requires tenacity. It requires that throngs of people from a variety of backgrounds coalesce upon a single vision, a North Star, if you will. Only by doing that can something so important be accomplished.
The Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine will address needs that are particularly acute in the rural communities and the industries of West Texas. But we can be sure that the benefits will be statewide.
There are greater heights to achieve, and Texas Tech is doing all the right things to reach those heights with the opening and addition of this tremendous vet school.
It's so much fun to be a part of something that you, as an alum, believe in passionately, but it really is, it's bigger than the Texas Tech brand. And the Texas Tech team has said that the whole time we've worked on this project. It really is about even multi-state partnerships as we partner with our friends in New Mexico and Colorado to make these opportunities available for all of these kids and to support the ag industries that this school will support.
Texas Tech leaders relentlessly focused on that vision. They persisted through multiple legislative hurdles. They organized at the local level, and they gained benefactors to bolster their prospects. In short, Texas Tech won the day, and I was proud to have the opportunity to sign the funding to establish the Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine.
The TTU Vet School officially opened its doors last fall, but the ribbon cutting was delayed last week due to COVID-19 concerns. The building at the Amarillo campus features state-of-the-art facilities, including a large central classroom, meeting rooms, and laboratories. The labs included a facility designed in a standard exam room format and a surgical lab complete with medical instruments and monitoring equipment. Along with the campus in Amarillo, there are also stations around the state where vet students can interact with animals in their natural environment. The first class of the students at the veterinary school started in August, and they are scheduled to graduate in 2025.
The university celebrated more than one historical achievement on Friday. Texas Tech's Pom Squad did something that no other group before them had done before. On Thursday and Friday, Tech Pom competed in the annual International Cheer Union World Championships in Orlando, Florida. Earlier this year, the team was chosen to represent the United States in the jazz portion of the competition. During Thursday's preliminary round, the Pom Squad was ranked first and advanced to the finals. The team performed Friday morning, facing off against 7 other teams from around the world. Following the session on Friday morning, Tech Pom was called to the stage during the award ceremony as one of the top 3 teams in the jazz division.
And now your gold medalists and world champions, USA!
Friday's win is the first ever world championship for the Texas Tech Spirit program. Tech Pom had previously won the national championship in jazz at the National Dance Alliance competition in 2017, 18, and 21. Tech Palm was not the only collegiate team to bring home the gold for USA on Friday. Iowa State won top prize in the Palm division, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas was also named world champions in this year's hip-hop competition.
The month of April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Here on campus, the Texas Tech community has been invited to participate in more than a dozen events to help bring awareness to this important issue. Throughout the month, the Office of Risk Intervention and Safety Education has hosted several events around campus, including the annual Clothesline Project. The goal of all of the events is to help build a community for sexual assault survivors, to connect with one another and know they aren't alone. Haley Wallace, Program Manager for Communication, Marketing, and Design at RISE, says it means a lot to her personally to know the university offers support to survivors.
As a woman, it does make me feel a lot more safe knowing that there's this kind of community around sexual assault survivors. I know it can feel really alienating to be a survivor, especially isolated and dealing with this alone.
Throughout the rest of the week, RISE is hosting several more events to close out Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Wednesday is Denim Day, and the entire campus community is invited to wear denim to show support for those affected by sexual assault. Later that night, RISE will host Take Back the Night in Memorial Circle to empower survivors and educate the community about sexual violence. For more information on all of the remaining events happening between now and Saturday, visit rise.ttu.edu and click on the SAAM tab near the top of the screen.
Today marks the beginning of the last full week of classes for the spring semester. With the end of the school year approaching quickly, most students are under a lot of stress. Finals, work, and everyday life can be a lot to handle. MCTV headed out on campus to see how students are feeling and what they are doing to survive the last 3 weeks of school.
I know it can be hard for sure. I just got out of a test.
I have 5 other classes and I'm like, dude, give us a break, You
take the time to handle your schedule correctly and study what you got to study for, but just managing everything.
I work full-time and I go to school full-time, so with finals coming up, I got lots to study for, I got work, it's a lot on my plate right now, so yeah, it's a little stressful.
The South Plains and Lubbock area remained dry over the weekend after another round of high winds and warmer temperatures.
That's true, Parker. Forecasts for the end of last week included the possibility of thunderstorms and rain in the region, but unfortunately we didn't see any moisture on Friday evening. The continued lack of precipitation has pushed the South Plains area even further into drought conditions. Currently, the U.S. Drought Monitor shows that almost 3/4 of Lubbock County falls in the exceptional drought category, which is the highest level of drought. Overall, every county in the South Plains region is currently either in extreme exceptional drought.
The lack of rain is becoming a serious concern here in the Lubbock area. So is there any chance we could see some precipitation as we finish out the month of April? Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. We've seen quite a few clouds on the MCTV tower cam today, but skies have begun to clear this afternoon. Temperatures have also been a bit cooler today, with highs only reaching the upper 60s. Those cooler temperatures will continue to stick around as we head into the evening. Tonight, lows are expected to drop into the 40s with clear skies and a light breeze. Heading in tomorrow, we can expect a slight warm-up with highs back in the mid-70s. Skies will continue to stay clear, but we could see winds around 25 miles per hour in the afternoon. On Wednesday, we'll see an increase in winds, and that could potentially lead to a chance for thunderstorms late in the afternoon. Wind speeds are expected to stay around 20 to 30 miles per hour in the afternoon hours, with the best chance of rain expected around sunset. From there, rain chances remain low for the rest of the week, but temperatures will be increasing. Highs are forecast to reach into the mid-90s on Thursday, which will be one of the hottest days of the year so far. Looking ahead, the month of April should end with a nice spring weekend, followed by more warm weather and an increasing chance for rain as we head into May.
Speaking of weather, bitter cold and icy conditions back in February led to the rescheduling of several activities, including the final event in this year's presidential lecture and performance series. But the concert is back on this week with another award-winning group headed to the Allen Theater. MCTV's Patricia Perry recently sat down with the head of the PLPS to preview one of the last big events on the campus calendar.
Hi, I'm Patricia Perry, and I'm joined with Dory Boyschneck today with the Presidential Lecture and Performance Series. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So, talk to me about this Rinky Tanky y'all have coming up. What is this event?
Rinky Tanky is a band. I know the name kind of sounds fun, and you're going, what does that mean? They're based in the Gullah tradition, which is the culture and language of the West African enslaved people who were brought over. And their language and rhythms and music and overall culture is preserved in a small area in the South Carolinas. So Rinky Tanky, the band, takes those cultures and that language and fuses it with more modern jazz and funk and R&B, and just makes it a more modern music that's really unique and interesting for folks today. So they're coming to us. What's really kind of fun about them, I'm so excited to close the 15th annual season with them. They were supposed to be here over 2 years ago at this point, before COVID, and we've postponed them multiple times at this point, but I'm really hoping that this will be the very last show of our pandemic-related postponements and reschedulings, and I'm just really excited to close this chapter with them.
Awesome. So how would somebody go about getting tickets for this?
So there's a couple different ways. I'd say regular community members and faculty and staff at Tech can go over to their website at presidentialseries.ttu.edu. They can call our box office at 806-770-2000. But if you're a student, I advise you don't do any of those because you actually get free tickets. Now, our general admissions are only $20, and I hope that sounds kind of low, especially for a Grammy-winning group like this. So we're proud to keep them at a nominal fee. But for students, they're all free. So what you can do is bring your valid TTU ID to the East Info Desk in the Student Union building, and you can just show it at the desk and claim your free ticket.
Perfect. So when and where will this event be?
So the concert for Rinky Tanky is going to take place in our usual venue, the Allen Theater in the Sub, and it's going to be on the 28th of April at 7 p.m.
Perfect. Well, I'm super excited for y'all to be able to finally host Rinky Tanky. I know y'all have been excited about this for a really long time.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and that was all the time we had for today, so back to you.
It was another busy weekend for Texas Tech athletics on the diamond. Both Red Raider baseball and softball were in action with hopes of improving their records after suffering midweek losses.
MCTV's Alejandra Salazar has highlights and scores from both series and more in sports. Alejandra.
Thanks, Austin and Parker. The softball team traveled to Waco for a 3-game series against the Baylor Bears. Both teams finished the series scoring a combined 7 runs as each game ended in a shutout. While the ladies dropped the first 2 games, they came out on top in the series finale. In the 4th inning, Kennedy Kreitz and Peyton Jackson both had singles that brought in a pair of runs to lead Baylor 2-0. While Baylor put a runner in scoring position in the 5th with a 2-out single and walk, a fly ball out to the left ended the inning to end the scoring threat. This was the first time this season that Tech shut out a Big 12 opponent. The ladies plan to close out Big 12 play at home this weekend against Texas. On to baseball, pitchers Andrew Morris and Brandon Birdsell both tossed complete games on Saturday's doubleheader sweep against West Virginia. This was the first time since 2009 that Tech tossed back-to-back complete games. Although West Virginia jumped out to a 5-1 lead early in Game 1, Tech responded with 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to win 7-5. The Red Raiders kept their momentum from Game 1 and stayed on top throughout the next game. They added 4 runs in the 8th inning to capitalize on their win, clinching the series by taking the second game from West Virginia 12-2. In the series finale, Tech found themselves trailing early in the game as 5 of the first 6 Mountaineers reached base safely in the first inning. The Red Raiders managed to chip away the deficit 1 inning at a time, cutting the lead 5-4 in the 7th, before West Virginia's 10-run 9th inning. They couldn't get the sweep, but the Red Raiders will look to bounce back tomorrow as they host Abilene Christian for their annual Bark in the Park game at 6:30 p.m. with coverage on ESPN+. Moving on to the number 5 Texas Tech men's golf team, they're currently competing in the 3-day Big 12 Championship in Trinity, Texas. The 72-hole competition started this morning, where the lowest 4 scores out of 5 in each round will determine the team champion. The conference tournament will then lead to the NCAA tournament selections. Tech has advanced to 19 straight NCAA tournaments, including last season when they won the Albuquerque Regional before taking 11th overall at the tournament. To stay updated with live stats, you can check out texastech.com. That's all I got. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alejandra. As we mentioned earlier, last Friday was a busy day for the university after both the vet school and Pom Squad made history. But it was also a big day for another campus group as they joined in with other students from around the country during an annual event.
MCTV's Alyssa Fant stopped by the KTXT FM studios here in the College of Media and Communication to see how station staff and volunteers took a step back in time to help bring awareness to the importance of college radio.
On Friday, April 22nd, the Vinyl-thon is going, a 24-hour live event here at KTXD with only vinyl music the whole time.
We're not allowed to use the computer. There has to be live, played live, performed live, or on vinyl as you see behind me.
KTXT traveled to several different places as part of their annual 24-hour vinyl marathon.
We're going to go to Ralph's and Flipper's Tavern later today, and we're going to play music live from those locations.
This important part of the broadcast is a far cry from what had to be done during the pandemic.
The first time I did Vinyl-thon was Vinyl-thon 2020, and we had to do it virtually because of COVID. It was really challenging. We had to live stream it on like our social medias and stuff, but it kept getting taken down because of like copyright and all that. So it was very difficult to do a virtual Vinyl-thon.
The radio hosts play a wide variety of music throughout their unique shows.
I am very diverse with what I play. I like to play a lot of like hip hop,
Mostly indie,
a lot of new wave,
some electronic,
rock,
sometimes hip hop,
throw some indie and jazz,
tons of like 70s, 80s rock,
and whatever else I can find that I want to play.
With the event going on for so long, how exactly do these hosts plan on staying awake?
I strategically placed responsibilities for myself like all throughout, so I cannot leave or like go to sleep.
I have no guarantee if I'll be conscious by 3 a.m. in the morning.
Those at KTXT encourage students to come and help out.
Come see us. We're on the 3rd floor of the Media and Communications building. We'd be happy to talk to you. And it's not just about radio. So we do a lot of fun stuff, social media, sports play-by-play, news, all kinds of things. So if you have any kind of interest and want to get involved, KTXT is a place to be.
For MCTV, I'm Alyssa Fant.
So Austin, did you have a chance to catch any of this weekend's Vinyl-thon broadcast?
Unfortunately, no, but I really like vinyl, so it would be really cool if I did, and I'll check it out next year.
Man, that's a cool hobby to have.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.